People rarely talk about this honestly. Before coming to Korea, everything feels full of promise. The streets look alive in videos. The food looks comforting. The culture looks disciplined, organized, and purposeful. It feels like a reset waiting to happen, a clean slate, a chance to become someone better. Most people arrive believing Korea will change them. What they don't realize is this: Korea does not remake you. It reveals you. And that is where the struggle begins. Because the reason most people don't last 1 year in Korea has very little to do with money, visas, or language exams. Those are surface problems. The real reasons sit much deeper. They're quieter, harder to explain, harder to admit. It starts with why you came in the first place. Many people come to Korea running from something: a stagnant life, family pressure, a failed plan back home, a sense of being overlooked. Korea feels far enough away that old disappointments seem like they'll lose their power. But distance doesn't erase unresolved parts of you. It carries them with you. If you came hoping Korea would heal what you never confronted, you discover something uncomfortable. Korea amplifies whatever you bring with you. Your discipline, or lack of it. Your loneliness, your insecurity. Your hunger for approval. At first, that amplification feels exciting. New routines, new faces, new sounds, new rules. Everything feels sharp and alive. But novelty fades faster than people expect. And when it does, you're left with yourself in a country that doesn't slow down for confusion. This is where many people begin to unravel, quietly. Another reason people struggle is that they romanticize Korean life without understanding Korean endurance. From the outside, Korea looks efficient: clean trains, orderly systems, respect for time. But beneath that efficiency is an expectation that you will endure without complaint. Korea isn't structured around emotional expression. It's structured around performance, showing up, doing your job well, not burdening others with personal struggles. You're expected to hold yourself together, even when you're tired, overwhelmed, or unsure. For people used to emotional reassurance, this can feel like coldness. In reality, it's a different social agreement, one that values resilience over comfort. If you're not prepared for that, the silence begins to feel personal. Loneliness in Korea doesn't come from being alone. It comes from being surrounded. You can stand in a packed subway, pressed between hundreds of bodies, and still feel invisible. Conversations flow around you in a language you're still learning to decode. Laughter happens nearby, but not with you. You're present, but not included. At first, you tell yourself it's temporary. Once your Korean improves, things will change. Once work settles, things will feel easier. Once you build community, you'll belong. But belonging in Korea takes time, and it's rarely automatic. Many foreigners underestimate how emotionally taxing it is to always be the one adjusting. You adjust your speech, your expressions, your reactions, your expectations, even your silence. Over time, that constant adjustment becomes exhausting. Daily life adds to the pressure. Korea runs on consistency. Schedules matter. Hierarchies are clear. Expectations are rarely negotiated. Creativity is welcomed only after reliability is proven. If you thrive on structure, this can feel grounding. If you rely on emotional momentum, it can feel suffocating. Many people arrive full of passion but without the quiet discipline Korea rewards. They want freedom, but Korea values predictability. They want expression, but Korea prioritizes harmony. They want flexibility, but Korea depends on routine. That mismatch creates frustration that builds slowly, not dramatically. Then there's work culture. Long hours are normalized. Rest is often delayed. Saying no can feel risky. Authority is respected even when it feels unreasonable. Praise is subtle. Criticism is indirect, but heavy. If you tie your sense of worth to affirmation, Korea can feel empty. You may work hard and hear little acknowledgement. You may perform well and still feel replaceable. That wears people down. But the deepest challenge, the one that truly decides whether someone lasts a year, is identity erosion. In Korea, no matter how long you stay, you're first seen as foreign. Your skills come second. Your personality follows. Everything about you is filtered through that label. Some people can carry that lightly, others can't. You may notice parts of yourself growing quieter. You stop explaining. You stop correcting misunderstandings. You stop sharing certain thoughts because it feels draining. Slowly, you reduce yourself to what feels manageable. That reduction rarely feels dramatic. It happens through small choices, choosing silence over explanation, choosing isolation over effort, choosing familiarity over growth. At some point, you realize you're surviving, but not expanding. That realization lingers. It shows up when you wake up tired without knowing why, when days blur together, when the excitement you once felt doesn't return, when staying begins to require more energy than you have left to give. And that's where many people start asking the hardest question of all, not whether they can stay, but whether they should. The question usually doesn't arrive loudly. It slips in quietly, often after you've already pushed yourself longer than you planned. After you told yourself to give it one more month. After you convinced yourself that tiredness was normal. After you ignored the small signs that something inside you was thinning out. For many people, the breaking point in Korea isn't one dramatic event. It's accumulation. It's realizing that you've been strong for too long without relief. At some point, endurance stops feeling noble and starts feeling hollow. You notice that you're always preparing yourself for the day instead of living it. You rehearse conversations before they happen. You measure your tone. You calculate your responses. You manage impressions constantly. This level of self-monitoring becomes second nature, but it costs more than people admit. You may notice that you laugh less freely, that you hesitate before speaking, that you conserve energy by withdrawing. None of this feels like collapse. It feels like control. But control has a way of turning into quiet exhaustion. Another moment that breaks people is when effort stops producing growth. In the beginning, effort feels rewarding. You study the language and see improvement. You navigate systems and feel capable. You survive confusion and feel proud. Progress feels tangible. Then one day, effort simply maintains the same ground. You work harder just to stay afloat. Your Korean improves, but expectations rise with it. Your responsibilities increase, but your sense of belonging doesn't deepen at the same pace. The reward for competence becomes more responsibility, not more ease. For people who expected a clear upward curve, this plateau feels like betrayal. There's also the moment when comparison becomes unavoidable. You watch others settle in. Some build lives that look stable. Others leave and seem lighter. You scroll through lives that feel fuller than yours. You begin measuring your experience against paths you didn't choose. Comparison sharpens doubt. You start asking yourself whether staying is wisdom or stubbornness, whether leaving is clarity or fear, whether you're persevering or simply delaying a decision. This inner questioning is heavy because Korea doesn't offer clear signals. There's no obvious line that says stay or go. Life continues either way. The trains still run. Work still demands presence. Time keeps moving. So, the decision becomes deeply personal. Many people leave Korea feeling ashamed because they believe lasting 1 year is a measure of strength. They assume endurance equals success. That belief is what hurts them most. Because lasting 1 year in Korea isn't about toughness. It's about alignment. Some people are aligned with the pace, the structure, the emotional economy of Korea. Others aren't. Neither is superior. They're simply different truths. Those who stay long-term often share one quiet trait. They stop asking Korea to affirm them. They build a steady sense of self that doesn't depend on belonging being obvious. They accept partial connection without resentment. They find meaning in routine rather than novelty. Those who leave often do so because they realize something important. That survival isn't the same as living. That endurance without expansion eventually costs too much. That choosing a different path is sometimes the most honest form of strength. Leaving doesn't mean you failed. It means you listened. It means you recognized when your internal resources were being depleted rather than developed. It means you chose clarity over pride. Many people who leave Korea carry forward a deeper understanding of themselves. They learn what environments demand of them. They learn how silence affects them. They learn the difference between being challenged and being diminished. Those lessons stay. And for those who remain, staying isn't a victory lap. It's an ongoing choice, a daily recommitment to a life that requires steadiness more than excitement, grounding more than applause. Korea doesn't reward those who burn brightly and fade. It rewards those who endure quietly, with a strong inner core. So, if you find yourself struggling, questioning, or considering leaving, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're paying attention. And whether you last 1 year or 10, the real measure isn't time. It's whether the life you're building still allows you to recognize yourself within it. This channel exists for people navigating those questions, people living far from where they started, people reshaping identity through movement, loss, endurance, and choice. If stories about migration, belonging, and self-understanding speak to you, this space was created with you in mind. If this felt familiar, subscribe for more honest reflections, like and share the video. And in the comments, tell us, what has living abroad taught you about yourself?